and Tatola recently. Good morning.
Good morning.
And how are you today?
I am good. I am
Yeah.
well.
Excited to be back?
Yes, I'm excited to be back home.
Yes. Tell us how it was in Tatola.
It was exciting. I made a lot of friends. It was definitely a journey that I will never forget. And in the end, it was rewarding. I got to represent my island and I came back with something. I didn't leave empty handed.
Yes, and the competition itself, how was it?
It was good. The backstage it did have a bit of like chaos, a little bit, pageantry, but the show was indeed a good show. It was an amazing display of talents from across the Caribbean. So it was fun.
Yeah, and how many countries represent how many islands?
There were 13 of us.
13.
Yes.
And you came second, a third
Yes.
overall.
Third place, yes.
What was the camaraderie like?
It was good. We call ourselves pageant sisters because we definitely act like sisters. There was laughs, jokes from the moment we met each other. So it was very exciting.
Yes, and being in the talented teen competition this year in Angola, how did that help prepare you for this show that you went to recently?
Being in the talented teen pageant in Anguilla helped sort of break the ice for me entering Haynes Smith because all of the things that I went through with talented teen I had to expect with Haynes Smith. So I wasn't new to the game. I was new to the game in talented teen Anguilla, but I wasn't new to the game in Haynes Smith.
Oh, lovely. In terms of
Let's get folks to the VIP and then
okay, so we gonna continue to the VIP lounge area.
security.
We are here because we are greeting our third runner-up here in the second runner-up in the Haynes Smith Miss Caribbean Talented Teen Competition. So we are here in Blowing Point at the Blowing Point Ferry Terminal, and we are here with Miss Santana Brooks. Okay. As we approach the VIP lounge area,
Good morning.
as we enter. Oh wow. Wow, isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
Had talented teen competition in the BVA. We know whatever whatever reason to switch it and share it with the different Caribbean islands. So we are grateful. Yesterday, but because of flight arrangements, was unable to, and nonetheless, she's here with us now. We have members from her team here with us, and we will just ship over and. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are
The theatrical appearance and also the theatrical appearance and also along with you they would have also everything and talent and creativity. So it's easy to work when you have with someone. And of course, Shamyra.
So what are your plans going forward now?
In terms of school,
Schooling and
I don't think I will compete in another pageant, but in terms of school, I will be going on the scholarship in fall of 2025, and I will be studying dance. So be pursuing the degree in Bachelor of Fine Arts in Dance.
Oh, lovely. But who? Let me see. I didn't let this be out of this. So, you made mention that you all were part of the team. Are there any other pageants in the region that any of the other teams can take part in?
I'm not aware, but I think that question is best posed to Mr. Kelsey, who knows more about the pageantry and the competitions.
Okay, so Romeo.
Yes,
There's no Juliet.
Good morning, yes. Good morning, everyone.
Are there any other pageants in the region?
Well, right now, this is the main pageant in the region for the teenagers, the Miss Haynes-Smith Caribbean Talented Teen pageant. So that's the one that over the years that Anguilla has always participated in from the teenage standpoint.
Okay.
Okay, but we are always once there are opportunities out there, we are always willing to facilitate the development of our contestants. And while I am here live, I would like to recognize some of our sponsors, and we have here Miss Karen Hodge from the corporate department at NCBA, and also Shamyra Gaskin from the marketing team at NCBA. And NCBA was one of the sponsors. In fact, they sponsored the travel for both Shamyra and her chaperone to the BVI, to Tartola. So I want to thank NCBA. I want to thank the Department of Youth and Culture also for their sponsorship and support, and also the Anguilla Summer Festival Committee for also facilitating this process. Because without our sponsors, none of this would have been possible. And I would really like to thank them for being corporate citizens and also for their contribution to the development of our young people in Anguilla. I also extend gratitude to Beauty From Within, because Shamyra would have Stacey Ann Taylor in St. Martin, so she would have also contributed to Shamyra. As we can see live now, the minister is here, the rep from DYC is also here. So I will step aside so that you can have a few words from the Honorable Miss Deanne Kentish-Rogers.
Yes, but just before the minister, we're going to have some input from
the chaperone, of course, yes. Quite naturally.
Yes. Good morning and welcome to what it is here at Lloyd's Live. Tell us about the event that took place in BVI.
It was an extreme success, as you know, and Shamyra came back with and participated in the show on the regional stage and competing again within the top 3 for pageant. Yes.
How competitive was it?
I think it was extremely competitive because a lot of and we felt that Shamyra's dedication and her hard work really paid off and helped her to be set apart in the whole competition.
Mm-hmm. So you would say definitely that it was a fairly challenged, well-competitive competition.
I think it was fairly judged. Of course, we still have some comments, but I think that she still did well. Yes.
Okay. Have you seen any areas that can be improved?
There are some areas that can be improved, but Shamyra has grown tremendously since August, and we are extremely proud of her.
Okay. We have also the Minister for Culture, Miss Deanne Rogers, Kentish Rogers. Good morning, Miss Minister.
Good morning, good morning. How are you doing?
Great. We know that we are here for this momentous occasion, congratulatory occasion. How do you see this moment?
I think it's a very important moment, not only for us as a nation, but obviously for Shamyra. She's done an exceptional job in representing Anguilla on a regional platform and a regional stage, and she carried the flag very proudly. I would say I was very proud of all of her efforts and the efforts of the team, because everyone who knows pageantry knows that it is not a one-man show. There's sometimes 20 people behind one contestant, which is a reflection of the dedication and the love, not only for Shamyra, but for the art form of pageantry that we see reflected in our people. So it's a very momentous occasion, not just for her personally, but for us as a country.
Yeah, and going forward, how do you see it for us here in terms of encouraging young ladies? We know that we have pledged from the University of the Virgin Islands for scholarship. How do you see that enticing the young ladies to participate?
Well, I think that it's always going to be important to be able to create proper incentives for our young women to participate in pageantry from the perspective of what it can do for self-development and what it can do for their career advancement. And when you look at it from that perspective, there's a lot to be gained from engaging in pageantry, the ability to express yourself confidently before people, to hold different opinions but be able to express them diplomatically. Those are skills that transfer throughout your life. And so I mean, Shamyra will be our first recipient of the University of Virgin Islands undergraduate scholarship, but we are hoping to grow more connections with the universities, not just in the region, but also in the US and the UK, to be able to provide more opportunities for young women in pageantry. And to have something to look forward to. So incentives are very important, but I also know that self-development, if you look behind me, we have some former queens, and so we know that participation in pageantry in and of itself has a major self-development aspect to it, and I think that's something in and of itself that could encourage. I also know that there is an expense attached to pageantry, so we are very grateful to have sponsors who would come on board and continue to encourage participation in pageantry. Those are all very important. And so, I mean, from our perspective, pageantry is subjective, but Shamyra is the subject of our hearts, and so from our perspective, she was our winner. But of course, there's always something to improve upon in pageantry, but she really did an exceptional job honoring our sheroes as well. I was very, very proud of her performance and of the creative direction of her team.
I'll come back to you. You made mention that this is the only pageant you're taking part in.
Naturally.
Only pageant you're taking part in.
Naturally, as more people participate. And I think Shamyra would have seen the progression in terms of one. And that's the same experience that I had. And dedicated in her heart or her mind a space for pageantry in the future. It's many young women who've gone through the Miss Talented franchise who have also gone on to do quite amazing things, that the franchise in and of itself, I think, is a very successful one. She doesn't decide, even if she decides that she doesn't want to go on to another level, she has really made the most of the position and the role that she has as Miss Talented, and she has carried our flag very proudly. So I'm excited for her future, whether or not she decides to take pageantry to the next level. I will always
Question, because if you can be a mentor because you've gone on to that.
This journey would not have been so encouraging, so have texted me, send me a prayer. I really do.
NCBA.
Yes.
I was just and it was CBA.
Yes.
I was just and I was so proud of her performances, her interviews. She was excellent. Not to miss out, excellent. Not to miss out on the opportunity to take herself to the next level in pageantry. It can only add to her pageantry. It can only add to her. And I think she would be an excellent representative for Anguilla. Take us to Miss Universe. That is where I would like to see her going. And I behind her 100% because this sort of development for our youth aligns with the bank's mission. So thank you for representing us so well, and good luck in all your future endeavors in terms of your studies from the management, board of directors, and staff of NCBA. Congratulations on the job well.
And we have Chaperone giving her last words.
I just wanted to publicly thank all of the persons that really took some time and sacrificed their time to support Shamyra in her preparations. I want to publicly mention my team, my main team in particular. I'm really grateful to Kira Gums, who crafted a beautiful speech about the Shiro, as well as for the promotional video. I would also like to thank Kalisha Mussington and Florence Gishard, who assisted in crafting the Shiro's costume. I think that they did an exceptional job. I'd also like to thank Aramel Franklin, who prepared her for all her interviews and ensured that she was well poised and confident throughout. I also would like to thank Kasim Ford and Shadira Ford for crafting such a beautiful talent for her, as well as Tahira Edwards for preparing the spoken word piece. And Michaela Skellicky. There are so many other persons I can thank, but I'm really grateful for her mom for supporting her throughout the process. Shamyra, Mr. Kelsick, I think that he probably got sick of me sometimes because I would send him so many late messages and doing follow-ups to ensure that Shamyra was prepared. And Tiffany from DYC, I know that there were late nights when I would be messaging you, but I'm so glad for your patience throughout it all, and I really appreciate the support that I even got on showing that Shamyra was at her best throughout the entire show. Who even
Actually, I think we should go that way.
My dance school just performed a beautiful dance for me, so I'm happy, I'm glad.
Yes.
This is where
Miss 2024-2025.